everyone, welcome to Homeschool, and we are with the chapter Electricity, where in our previous video we have discussed everything about series combination of resistance, isn't it? And in today's class, let us deal with the resistance that is connected in parallel. Okay, so when the resistors are connected in parallel, what happens for I, what happens for V, that is voltage, and how to calculate the total resistance in a circuit, right? So all of them we will discuss along with certain numericals at the end. And remember, don't forget to watch my next video also, because we are doing certain challenging questions on both resistance in series and resistance in parallel. Okay, so problems would be like they'll give a circuit diagram where the resistors are connected in series as well as parallel, right? So according to a question you need to answer, right? So the complicated problems regarding this particular concept, connection in series as well as connection in parallel. Okay, so we are dealing in the next video, so watch this as well as the next video also to get a complete clarity on both the concept, that is resistance in series, resistance in parallel. Okay, so let us start with the topic resistance in parallel. So how do you indicate the resistance in parallel in a circuit diagram? See, we all know, imagine I'm taking three resistors here. So I am going to take three resistors, right? And this is resistor number 3. Okay, and all of them are connected something like this, parallel to each other, right? So all the three resistors are parallel to each other. And now I connect this to battery. Positive terminal, negative terminal, switch, right? So this is a simple circuit where you have three resistors connected in parallel to each other, right? And now the thing is, I consider the resistance of this resistor as R1, this is R2, and this is R3. Clear? And voltage, let it be V1, V2, V3. Clear? Fine. And coming to the current, here let the current be I1, I2 and I3. Okay, so now let us discuss which factors remains the same throughout the three resistors, or which factor makes a difference, which factor is different across the resistors. Clear? Fine. So the total voltage of a circuit, let it be V, right? Okay. And now what happens for the voltage in this circuit? Will it remain constant throughout the three resistors, or will it be different? Can you able to think of here? You see here, all resistors have been connected to the same points. This is point A, point B, right? So this is like end of the wire, right? And here between point A and point B you will have that electric pressure difference, that is what we call voltage, right? So definitely the voltage remains constant across the three resistors. Clear everybody? The voltage remains constant here. Say for example, we have taken 6-volt battery here. So when you keep a voltmeter and check the voltage of these ends, you will have 6 volts only. The voltmeter would show 6 volts of voltage, because all the three resistors are connected to same points. Okay, they have same ends. That means they have similar electric pressure difference. So that's the reason in case of parallel combination, voltage remains constant. So all these points are very, very important. Note down, take it as a note. Here, voltage remains constant. Constant. Clear? So the R1 resistor will have 6 volts of voltage, R2 also will have 6 volts, and R3 also will have 6 volts, which is equal to the total voltage in a circuit, right? So I can write here total voltage is equal to V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V3. Okay, so this is what we mean by voltage is constant. Voltage is same, it is not changing, it is not different, it is not different in case of different resistors which are connected in parallel. Yeah, okay. Now coming to the current. What happens to the current? Imagine we have 1 ampere of current flowing in this circuit. Okay, so current will flow to this resistor, second one as well as the third one. So this is our direction of current, right? Fine. So what will happen for the current when it flows to this point, and you know from this point the wires are actually divided, right? So current will not flow same to all the 3 resistors. Current flow is different in different resistors. Okay, here the I values are different, guys. Yeah, so here I'm going to give you one analogy, water comparison for you. Say for example you have a big pump, clear? So where you have a fatter pipes to flow water, clear? Pump will send the water, right? And somewhere here you have narrower pipes and another narrower pipe is there, something like this. Okay, fine. Say for example the pump is sending 20 ml of water. Okay, 20 ml of water it is sending. So this 20 ml of water will go up. See, in this point all the 20 ml of water may not go to this pipe itself, right? So here the water gets distributed. Some amount of water will go through this channel and some amount of water will go to this channel, right? Say pump is a push here, it is pushing water to go, but the moment water reaches here it has 2 ways. One way is going through this narrower pipe and another way is going through this narrower pipe, right? So definitely the moment water goes here, water gets distributed. Some amount may go to this particular area, some amount may go to this particular area. Okay, so similar concept you can apply here. So current goes, when it reaches this point it finds 3 routes. Current is finding 3 routes to pass on. Route number 1, route number 2, route number 3. So here 1 amperes of current will get distributed. Clear? Some amount of current goes here, some amount goes to the second resistor, some amount goes to the third resistor. Okay, so what I will write here is current, that is I, gets distributed. Clear? So what I can write here is total I. Okay, total current is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. I1 plus I2 plus I3. Okay, say for example 1 amperes of current is the total current, right? So here you may have like 0.5 ampere, here you may have 0.3 ampere, here you may have 0.2 ampere. Okay, so among that 1 amperes of current, 0.5 amperes is going to the first resistor, 0.3 amperes is going to the second resistor, and 0.2 amperes is going to the third resistor. So like this, among that 1 amperes of current, some amount goes to first, second and third. Like that it is getting distributed. Okay, so what I could write, total I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Clear? And now, which resistor can have the highest amount of current? See, for the first resistor I have shown 0.5 amperes, more amount of current has flown through the first resistor. Okay, 0.3 amperes of current has flown through second resistor and very less amount of current has flown through the third resistor. That means current is not getting distributed equally. right? It's not getting distributed equally. The amount of current that you find in the first resistor is different than the second resistor is different than the third. So why this happens? Why unequal amount of current is getting distributed? It is all because of the resistance. You know, how much amount of current can get passed through the resistor depends on how much amount of resistance is there in that particular resistor. Clear? So we all very well know that R is inversely proportional to I. More the resistance, lesser is the current passage. See, more current is observed in the first resistor, maybe because you have less resistance in the first resistor. Here you see very less current is observed in the third resistor, right? Maybe because you have high resistance. Okay, so definitely the amount of current passed through the resistors always depends on the resistance that they have. Okay, so what you can write here is more the resistance of a resistor, less is the current passed, less is the current, that is I passed. Clear? So this is how current gets distributed across the three resistors. Fine. And now if I have to tell you what is the total resistance of a circuit, in case of series, what you have done, you have just added, right? Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Very simple derivation we have done and we got that relation. So here also, to calculate the total resistance of a circuit, actually you are not adding R1 plus R2 plus R3. We should derive it. So let us try to derive to calculate total resistance, also called as equivalent resistance of a circuit. Okay. So what I am doing is formula to derive. This can be asked for 3 marks in the board examination. So you have to be very careful. Formula to derive total resistance. Total resistance. Total resistance is also called as equivalent resistance. Equivalent resistance in case of parallel combination. Okay. So how do you derive? With the help of Ohm's law, right? It's very simple derivation. Yeah. So just we all very well know that V is equal to V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V3. Okay. So total voltage is equal to voltages of resistors, right? Voltage is remaining constant here. But we all very well know that I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Okay, current is getting distributed, but total current is equal to sum of the individual currents that you observe in resistors. Clear? Fine. And what is our Ohm's law? Ohm's law. Ohm's law is, say we all know that V is equal to IR. Okay, so I is equal to V by R, right? So this is the Ohm's law that we applied for the total current. Okay, so this is our total. I total is equal to V total divided by R total. Okay, and now apply Ohm's law for individual resistor. Applying Ohm's law for individual resistors. So for each and every resistor, apply Ohm's law. What do you get? For I1, for the first resistor, if I have to apply Ohm's law, I can write I1 is equal to V1 by R1, right? And for the second resistor, I can write I2 is equal to V2 by R2. For the third resistor, I3 is equal to V3 by R3. Isn't it? So let me consider this as equation 1 and these things are equation 2, equation 3 and equation 4. Okay. And now what I will do is substitute substitute equation 2, equation 3 and equation 4 in 1. So what do you get? I. Instead of this is total I, right? So what is I total? I total is equal to Vt by Rt is equal to, what is I1? I1 is equal to V1 by R1, isn't it? Plus what is I2? V2 by R2. What is I3? I3 is nothing but V3 by R3. Okay, so what I did, I introduced I total equation, I1, I2 and I3 here in this first equation. So I got this relation, right? So here actually VT, V1, V2, V3 is same, right? Is constant. So you no need to consider. So instead of that, what I can write? 1 by RT is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. You know, so this is the total resistance that you observe in a circuit. Since the total resistance that we are observing in parallel combination, I call the total resistance as Rp. Okay, so this is a formula to calculate total resistance of parallel combination. That is 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. It is the reciprocal. Okay, reciprocal of series. How did we calculate it in series? Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3, right? It is exactly opposite, that is reciprocal, right? So 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So this is the formula to calculate total resistance that you observe in a parallel combination. Okay, so very simple derivation, nothing. We know this is constant and this is distributed. So applying Ohm's law for the total current as well as applying Ohm's law for individual resistor and then substituting all this in this equation, we will get the total resistance formula, right? And now let us understand the whole concept with the help of certain problems. Coming to the first question, observe carefully. The resistors R1, R2 and R3 have connected in parallel with resistances 5 ohms, 10 ohms and 30 ohms respectively, connected to 12 volt battery, isn't it? So what you have to calculate is current through each resistor, total current in a circuit and total resistance in a circuit. Okay, first let us try to draw the circuit here. So 3 resistors are there, isn't it? Third one, and you know they are parallel to each other, right? And they are connected to what? 12 volt battery. 12 volt battery, right? And the first resistor has a resistance 5 ohm. This is our R1. And second resistor 10 ohms of resistance. This is R2. And third resistor 30 ohms of resistance and this is R3, isn't it? So this is our circuit diagram basically connected to 12 volt battery. So what you have to calculate is current through each resistor. So we all know current is not constant here. Current is getting distributed, right? Let the current flowing through this resistor is I1 and here it is I2 and here it is I3. Okay, so we have to calculate I1, I2 as well as I3 and voltage is same, right? Voltage, total voltage is 12 volt. Voltage in R1 resistor is 12, voltage in R2 is also 12, voltage in R3 is also 12. So you know the voltage, right? So V1 is equal to 12 volts, V2 is equal to 12 volts here as well as V3 is equal to 12 volts, right? In case of parallel. So we know the voltage, we know the resistance. Can't we calculate I1, I2 and I3, that is current through each resistor? Definitely, right? Just apply Ohm's law. So what is our Ohm's law? V is equal to IR. We can also write it as I is equal to V by R, right? So let us calculate I1 is equal to V1 by R1, right? So what is V1 here? 12. Voltage is same. And what is R1 here? 5. 5 ohms, isn't it? So how much do you get? 5 ones are and 5 twos are, so 2.4. So I1 is equal to, you are getting 2.4 amperes, isn't it? Fine. Similarly, what is I2? I2 is equal to V2 by R2. Okay, so which is equal to, V2 is what? 12 and R2 is what? 10. So how much do you get here? I2 is equal to 1.2. You would be getting 1.2. Right? So similarly, I3 is equal to V3 by R3, right? Which implies, what is V3? 12 volts. And what is R3? 30. So how much is the I3 value you would be getting? You would be getting 0.4, right? So I3 is 0.4 amperes, I2 is 1.2 amperes. Don't forget to mention the unit here. So definitely whatever you calculate, I, R or V, you should mention the answers with their units. Don't forget this, right? So the first question is over. Total, what is that? Current through each resistor we found. Voltage was same, resistance is different, current is different. So I1, I2, I3 we found. What is the next question? Total current in circuit they are asking. This is the answer for question A, right? So what is the total current? I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, isn't it? So what is I1? Just now we calculated 2.4 plus what is I2? 1.2. What is I3? 0.4, isn't it? So if you add all of them, you would be getting how much? You would be getting 6, 4, it is 4 amperes, right? So I is equal to 4 amperes you will get. Fine. So second question is over. What is the third question? Total resistance they are asking. Question number C, total resistance in case of parallel. What is the formula? 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 upon R3. Isn't it? So, see, many of you will take a formula as Rp. They would be writing Rp is equal to 1 upon R1, 1 upon R2 and 1 upon R3. Whereas this is wrong. Okay. So, it is the reciprocal of Rp. 1 by Rp you should write. When you have taken just Rp, you would end up in getting a wrong value. So this is where most of the children make mistake. So be careful. 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. So what is R1, R2 and R3? 1 by R1. R1 is 5 ohms, right? And R2 is 10 ohms plus R3. R3 is 30. So what is the LCM you will take? 30, right? So 6 plus 3 plus 1. So how much do you get? How much do you get? 1 by Rp is equal to 10 upon 30. 10 upon 30. So 1s are 3s are. 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by 3. So Rp is equal to how much? 3 ohms. Isn't it? 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 by 3. So Rp is what? Reciprocal you do. That is 3 ohms. Rp is equal to 3 ohms you will get. Right? So this is how you have to solve a question. Actually, this is a direct and simple question that is there in your NCERT book. So for more challenging questions, definitely you have to watch my next video. Right? This is a basic idea I have given you with the help of this question. See people, before we end up this session, let us try to discuss one important concept. That is, you know what, actually parallel combination is more advantageous over series combination. Okay, so parallel combination, this point is very important to remember. has more advantages over series. Can you tell me why? Can you able to think of the reasons for this particular sentence I gave you? You know what do you mean by parallel? You know what happens in parallel. You know what happens in series, right? Say for example, first thing is current distribution. In case of series, the same amount of current passes through both the resistors. Yes or no? Say if you have 1 amperes of current flowing in a circuit, you will find 1 amperes of current in this resistor as well as 1 amperes of current in this resistor. Right? So whereas, say if I have to connect electric lamp and electric heater in a series combination, electric lamp and electric heater together, if I connect in a series combination, will it work out? Think of electric lamp requires less amount of current. Heater requires more amount of current. If I connect both the devices in series, what would happen? Same amount of current would pass through both the devices. Okay, then actually what happens? Lamp requires less amount of current, so lamp, because of the more current passing through a lamp, it may get burst off. Yes or no? Lamp requires very less amount of current. Heater require more current, but same amount of current passes through a series. So definitely you can't connect both lamp and heater in a series connection. Whereas if you connect them in parallel, what would happen? See, I will connect them in parallel. So what would happen? Current will get distributed. Yes or no? According to a resistance present in a device. Say this is a lamp and this is heater. I connected them in parallel. So, 1 amperes of current that is flowing in a circuit. Since heater requires more current, you have chance of getting passed more current to the heater. Less amount of current can get passed to the lamp because both are connected in parallel. What happens in a parallel? Current gets distributed, right? You see this problem, total current in a circuit is 4 ampere. But the current in the first resistor is 2.4, current in the second resistor is 1.2, current in the third resistor is 0.4. So according to the resistance they have in a resistor, current got distributed. So when you have to connect devices together, the best way of connecting them is in parallel because current is getting distributed in parallel. Whereas in series, current is not getting distributed, current is remaining constant, right? So this is a main point that one must remember, right? So what is the point you will mention? What happens in a parallel, guys? In parallel, current is distributed. Current is distributed. So devices that require different current, different I can be connected in parallel. Okay, so different devices require different current. So all the devices, if you want to connect in one single circuit, you can always opt for parallel combination, but not series combination. Okay, so when you connect different current requiring devices in a series combination, the circuit can undergo a dangerous situation, right? Any of the device may get burst because of more current passed, right? So that is the main difference. And another one is, see the total resistance observed in a parallel combination. See, compare this problem only. Individual resistance of a resistor you see here. First resistor has 5 ohms, second resistor has 10 ohms of resistance, third resistor has 30 ohms of resistance, isn't it? But the total resistance in a circuit you see 3 ohms. That means total resistance in a circuit is very, very, very less compared to the individual resistances of each resistor. So whenever total resistance is very less current can flow very nicely in a circuit, right? So this is one of the major advantages of parallel combination. Okay, so which point I can mention here? Total resistance in parallel combination is less compared to individual resistances. Okay, so we know when resistance is less, current flow is easy, right? So in which combination current can flow very nicely? Parallel combination, because total resistance of a circuit is always lesser than the individual resistances. Whereas in a series, it's not like that. So in a series, imagine these resistors are connected in series. Okay, if not parallel, imagine these resistors are connected in series. So what is the total resistance? You will add, no? 5 plus 10 plus 30, right? So you would be getting 45 ohms as the total resistance. So total resistance is much more compared to the individual resistance. So the circuit's total resistance is increased to a larger extent. If the resistance is more, can the current flow nicely in a circuit? Never, right? So this is another comparison between a series combination and a parallel combination. So what happens in a parallel combination? Total resistance is very much less compared to the individual resistance. So current flows very nicely. In case of series, total resistance is very much high. So current flow is less, right? So these are the comparisons of points between series and parallel, and definitely parallel combination is much advantageous over series combination. This is one important question that you have to remember for board examination point of view. So if they ask you why parallel combination is advantageous, what you will write? First one is I is getting distributed. So different devices requiring different current can be connected in parallel, right? And the second point is total resistance is very much less, so that current flow can be easier in parallel compared to series, right? So with this, I am ending my session. As I already told you, don't forget to watch my next session for varieties of questions on parallel as well as series combination. Yeah, thank you so much. Please like, share and subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you.